I've honestly learned so much. Like, it's unreal. If I can do what I've been doing in training and I bring it to the fight, then you guys will see so many improvements. Out there in Philly, Philly footwork, we work a lot on my feet, my balance and all those kind of things, just that fine tuning stuff. Like, usually I go there for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks at the end of my camp, and it's kind of like cramming in it all. But this time I was able to, start like that from the beginning. So I'm really excited. Extremely lonely. At least like kind of when you're at home and you're around people and, loved ones and stuff, like they're still there. They still have the presence. I mean, it is always a sport that you can do by yourself. You have to always make sacrifices. But I'd be definitely lying if I was to say that it's cool and it's easy. Because it is tough. There are some days where it's really tough. I just want to see my boyfriend, give my boyfriend a hug and see my mom. But, it is what it is. And here I am chasing my dreams, and a lot of people aren't able to do that. So it comes with it.
Let's go on the fight, Ebanie. I've seen you say you expect Bec to bring the heat in this fight. You think this one's going to catch fire early?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Bec always comes out hard. She always comes out strong and fast. And I'm a bit similar. So we'll see, I have my plan. And yeah, I don't think it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be a bit of a heated fight because we both like to fight, But in saying that, I'm not going to get drawn into something if it's easier to just box someone, you know what I mean? So we'll see. I feel like if I'm able to step Bec Connolly at 118, the lowest, the lightest person that's ever fought her, and the first time she's ever had a full camp or anywhere close to a camp, I think that's going to make a big impact because these girls are stopping them or fighting Bec when she hasn't had any preparation. So yeah, 100%. If I can stop her, it will be a big, point to make. But I'm not banking on it. You know what I mean? I'm going to go in there and I'm going to box and do what I do, and looking hopefully break it down and stop it early. I'm not too fussed as long as they're talking about me, as long as they're asking me questions, and I don't mind the lingerie talk. I mean, I feel like I wasn't really bringing it up. Some interviews, and Shani was bringing it up. But it's great to be focused on the boxing. I think, but yeah, I'm not fussed. I'm so cruisy. So yeah, I don't really have much thoughts about it either way. I was only at first I was obviously upset at first. I think that night, when the results were done. But it didn't take long for me to realize the impact that fight had on people and the response that I got. And, I don't cry over spilt milk. It's a loss, but in life you get so many losses and so many letdowns. You got to pick yourself up and move forward and go with it, and everything happens for a reason. So I didn't really look back on it. Obviously I look back on what I could do in the future and all these kind of things, but it's all learning for me, and I was just blessed for that experience, and for now, like you said, my stock's going up, and I was blessed that I was able to show the UK, not just my fighting skills, but the heart that I have, which, only comes when you get in those situations. So.
And last one, Ebanie, you mentioned the UK fans there. Unlike the first fight camp, the second fight camp is going to have people in attendance. Is that a nice added incentive knowing you can be out in front of the UK fans?
Oh, unreal. Honestly, I've got a few people I know that are going to come, bought tickets to come and support me. So I'm so excited for that. Fighting in front of fans. I love fighting for the fans. So to have them there, it's going to be unreal. And just the whole fight camp experience, it looks unbelievable. Life changed. Not a lot, because I kind of, after my fight, obviously, I think I noticed it the most when I was in the UK because I was walking around the streets in the UK and people were recognizing me everywhere. And, that was really, interesting and really cool, because then I'm able to take photos and engage with my fans that I do online, but in person, that was really lovely. But then obviously going back in Philadelphia into camp, when I'm in camp in Philly, it's literally the gym and home and a sports massage. So, I don't really notice what's going on too much around. Obviously my social media has risen, which, in turn means I get a lot more money for things, so with that's the whole point of social media. That's the whole good thing about, a big social media following is that you're able to advertise for your sponsors and for brands and things on a wider audience, so you're worth more, you know. So I'd say that my stocks, literally my money has risen, and I'm much more I'm worth more. So that's probably what's changed, you know. Other than that, like nothing, you know. With my training, I stayed in Philadelphia, you know, to the whole camp, which is, you know, brilliant, which is what I want to do, because I can work on a lot of things with the guys in America, with Kaylee Reese, who's a 2 times world champion. She's my co-coach, and Brian Cohen, and working with those for a lot longer than a couple of weeks. You know, I've felt so many improvements, so I'm looking forward to showing that on this Saturday. Well, I'm not really one of those people that gets really fully excited and pumped for a fight until I'm like there and stuff, you know, just because boxing has let me down many times, you know. So I tend to be a bit reserved when it comes to like real hype and emotion until much closer to the date. But when I was watching that, I was like, wow, like that's unreal. And I just loved how it was so intimate, and I loved how you know, it's like an exclusive, it was literally like an exclusive garden party, like festival, you know what I mean? And I think that's so unreal. And for the people that are coming out to actually support me, they're all messaging me as well, going, oh my God, we can't wait. And that started to really hype me up. I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait to walk down that runway, to get into that ring and just do what I love, you know, in front of people that I love, and fans that love me. So yeah, very exciting. Obviously, I'm pleased with myself. Like I know what I can do, so I always knew I had that. I'm just pleased that I was able to draw in enough attention and draw in enough eyes pre-fight to get people to tune in to see me. You know, people that might not have tuned in. I'm proud of that, to be able to get so many eyes onto that fight, and that I was able to not only show my boxing skills and my heart, you know, but just that warrior spirit that, you know, really does solidify. And especially, you know, British fans, obviously, you know, I know that they love that kind of stuff, and I mean, just boxing fans in general. So yeah, I mean, everything happens for a reason. I might not have got the win, but I just feel like that was something really special. You know, not that I would want to ask anyone to go get injured so they can do that to prove that, but I think, you know, everything happens for a reason, and I'm glad it worked out that way. You know, I mean, every fight, no matter who I'm fighting, I train like it's a world title fight. Even if it was like 4-rounder, you know, every single fight for me, I train, you know, because it only takes one punch, it only takes 1 second. So you have to take every single fight seriously, and you know, train hard. I always train hard. You know, I always give it everything. I'm always the hardest worker in the gym. So not really. I mean, I'm just more excited, I suppose, to go in there and get back into the UK and have that fight. No, I'm not patient. I will push it as hard as I can. You know, you don't get nowhere by sitting around and waiting. You know, and I definitely haven't done that the last 2 years of my pro career, and I think that's why I'm where I am. I'm also older, so, you know, I don't have time to wait around. I'm not 22, I'm not 25, I'm not 30. I'm not going to say how old I am, but you know, I just want to have good fights. You know, obviously I'd love to fight for a world title again, but I love boxing. I love fighting. I want to have good fights. That's the main thing. You know, I just want to have good match fights that I enjoy. You know what I mean? That's my goal. Like, I'm not looking for a stoppage because, you know, I don't believe looking for them. But I won't be displeased if I do get it, and I wouldn't mind an early night. So we'll see. There is you know, obviously there's a plan. We know we never go into a fight going, oh, I'm going to take her to the distance. Like, that's not really a plan. But you know, I know how durable Becky is and how experienced she is with good fighters. So, you know, I'm definitely not counting her out, and I'm, you know, not going to get ahead of myself. But yeah, it would definitely be something. It would be good to have an early night and get into the garden and see everyone and smash some pizza. Definitely. I'm looking to fight. Well, I'm not too sure about fighting. I would love to fight in Australia. You know what? I would love to get a belt and fight in Australia, you know, for a world title, or defend a title, or get a world title to Australia. You know, I want to fight in my home country 100%, you know. But boxing's kind of picking up in Australia. It was before they got that second lockdown, you know. But prior to that, boxing really isn't the place. Australia really isn't a place for boxing, especially not women's boxing. So you know, I'm not going to sell myself short being stuck in my country just because I'm patriotic and that. But yeah, definitely if I can and you know, it's all worth it for me, 100% would love to fight in front of my home country. Hopefully don't get there and Matchroom can get some cards over there. I feel like I'm going to break her down. You know, I don't want to, like I've said before, you know, Bec is very durable, but I definitely think I'm able to stop her and I'm able to break her down, do some things to her that others haven't. I'm coming into this fight with a very different style to a lot of the other girls, you know, the girls that she's fought, they don't have my style. So we'll see. Hopefully break it down and get her out by the mid to later rounds. I feel like a fight between me and Rachel would be pretty epic. You know, because she's so tall and I'm a short and inside fighter, I would just be pressuring the shit out of her. Like I would just be pushing up on her, and it would be a very exciting fight because also she likes to let her hands go. She's very fast. You know, and it would just come down to, I suppose, if she's going to keep her range or she's going to sit and punch with me, you know, but I'm not going to be outboxing her. So that would definitely be one of those fights that are very exciting, and I'll be on the front foot pushing up, and it would be a great fight. I feel like that fight could be more exciting than the Shannon fight. And as for her versus Shannon, the rematch, it's, you know, before I was like, Rachel will definitely beat her, and I think she can, you know, she can outwork her, because the first time they fought, you know, always coming to COVID, first fight, you know, blah, 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 a lot of things. But, you know, Rachel's had such a hard run. Like, she's not been active. She's had COVID, really bad COVID. You know, she's hurt her back. There's so many things now that, you know, I think she has the skill, but it's like, here's Shannon getting all these, you know, fights and all this experience and whatever, why, you know, Rachel's sick and injured. So I think that sways it a bit more to Shannon. But yeah, still obviously cannot rule Rachel out. You know, I don't really have much to say about that. I suppose, you know, sometimes karma's a bitch, but I do hope that she does, you know, does recover fast, because she is the champ and she needs to defend that belt. And, you know, by the looks of it, it doesn't look like it'll be too much of a long recovery. She's not on crutches or anything. She's walking around. So I see that fight happening pretty soon.